What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality over there, period. I am your host, Pharaoh, and today we'll be talking about Amazing Race, bitch. I know that's right. I think we have one more episode after this. No, we have two more episodes after this that are going to be airing back to back, or one day and then the other. Either way, next week will be my last podcast for this season. So that is going to be very motherfucking interesting. But we're here today to discuss the tea, honey. Let me pull these people up because, girl, how the fuck did this happen? No shade. Like, I'ma just say it. Completely no shade to Han and Holden. But how y'all make it here? You know, what voodoo are you using? You know, and I've always felt this entity that they hold, this entity of chance and luck and not even luck. You know, I don't want to disregard what they're doing here, but I could just tell y'all gonna be around, huh? It's giving cockroach, not in a bad way, not in a bad way. It's just giving. How y'all still here? And you know, I don't really know how to say that without sounding crazy because I don't think it's wrong that they're still here. And I don't think that they don't deserve to be here. But how y'all still here? Right. What Alessandro's saying, that Hunter holding Puri Puri is nasty. Like, how that happen? Now, as we see by the images, Mark and Brett did go home. T. Fran says, I need to see Mark and Brett on an all-star season. I'm finna say something crazy. I don't need to see them on the all-star season. Sorry, I don't hate Mark. I actually really like Mark and Brett in like a specific manners. You know, the bodies are tea, the face cards eat. They my gay icons, all of that. No shade. Past that, I don't think I was gagging that much. This might be an unpopular opinion. This is why we need Lee here sometimes, because Lee can balance it out. But I'm not gonna lie, I was snoozing a little bit, like, and not the scissor kind. Like, it was giving like I'm not gagging a little bit. Like, I kind of wish they gave us a little bit more. There was a point in the season I thought they might bicker or argue. Didn't get that. Not that I want my kings to argue and bicker. Y'all are a wonderful, beautiful married couple. But I don't. It just, they're not polarizing for me. And for me, I want like a polarizing team for sure. Like, if I had to pick all stars, like, look, Mary said I like to see Scott and Lori. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna choose my all stars on the finale episode. But Brett and Mark, I'm not rushing to see them again personally. Love them down. But considering the results, I'm kind of like, meh. And that's just no shade. Ooh, we getting questions about a certain someone. Now, Jonathan and Anna, you know, we'll get into it when we get into it. We'll just get into it when we get into it. Let's just wait. Now, Jonathan and Anna are the only team who went. No, Brett and Mark literally went from first to fucking last. I don't know how that happened, but let me change their color. Because, whoa, they dropped bad. But Jonathan and Anna also dropped because they were in first last round. Yeah. They were in first. But they dropped. Brett and Mark dropped bad. But Carson and Jack is back on their bullshit. Carson and Jack had three bad, really just 2 bad rounds. Really just 1 rough round, and then they worked their way back up ever since then. And they back at the motherfucking top. Like, it was only a slight amount of time that I was like, Carson and Jack probably not going to necessarily do good. But after that pass, I'm like, Carson and Jack is back to being the leader of this whole pack. Like, especially looking at the final 4, no shade, Han and Holden they're like going to stay in this competition as far as they can. So I'll give them that. But when it comes to who's been consistently doing well, Carson and Jack are that team. Like, Jonathan and Anna have done good, but they've done bad, or they haven't done bad. And that's what's funny about them. They've only done good, but they have a lack of chemistry when it comes to the race that is going to get in the way. And Alyssa and Josiah, they're good. They're a good team, but they're not like a great team in my eyes. They are kind of a great team, but it's like something's not there. Carson and Jack have a oomph. They got a oomph that I'm like, they winning. That's just how I feel. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's what Mary says Carson and Jack are given winners. I agree. T. Fran says, I don't really care for Carson and Jack as winners. Sweet nerds, that's it for me. I kind of see that too. Personally, Jonathan and Anna winning is what I would prefer. Because personally, I think when it comes to dynamicness, no other team is giving me this extreme dynamicness other than Jonathan and Anna. Like, that's going to be a win that everyone is going to talk about, bitch. And that's just real. That's just real. They are the most polarizing team. They're carrying a lot of the social media conversations is because of Jonathan and Anna. Love Josiah and Alyssa down. Love them down. Very sweet, wonderful couple. But am I gagging? Like, am I entertained? I don't know. You know? That's just that. And this is what, look, Mary said, I don't want that man to win any money. What about Anna? What about Anna? She get half of it. Y'all got to start thinking of the positives and stop thinking of the negatives. Because the positive is Anna can get that money if they win. Let's let Anna get that money. Y'all thinking too much about Jonathan get the fuck. We should move out of spite and hatred. We should move out of love. And the love in our hearts are saying, let's love Anna. So Anna needs love. So let's love her so much so she can get this money. Period. And then Jonathan can win and I can laugh because it kind of would be funny. Sorry. But yes. But yes, this leg of the race, last leg, we had a non-elimination. I don't think we needed it. No shade. This leg, I'm like, where's the mega leg? Where's the mega leg? We still don't have the mega leg. So I know next episode better be the motherfucking mega leg into the finale. The fuck? Because where is the mega leg? The twist this round was a head-to-head. Head-to-head is kind of cute. I think head-to-head would be cuter with more people. I don't think the head-to-head twist was cute with fucking 5 people. I feel like it was kind of lackluster. They should have did head-to-head earlier in the season and did like the second U-turn, like here or something. I don't know. Maybe not here. I don't know. They should have switched something around because the head-to-head here wasn't gaggy for me at all. So I wasn't gagging. But we started this leg off in Strasbourg, France. Love France down. Love that for them. And it's self-driving. Not the whole leg, but at the beginning of the leg, they're self-driving. So first they have to go to the Council of Europe. And all they got to do is name the 4 countries a part of the Council of Europe that they've been to. Now, what the fuck is the Council of Europe? I'm wondering. T. Fran said, they said the next episode is the penultimate. So the last episode before the finale. Is the finale... Oh, you lost me. Maybe no mega leg. So maybe no mega leg. I feel like, could the penultimate be a mega leg? Could the penultimate not be a mega leg? Is that too much? I feel like it could be. Like, I was thinking Final 4 is the mega leg. And then the finale is just, a regular finale with extreme things. I don't know. Oh, top 3. I think the finale is top 3. I think next episode, it's going to be Final 4, and that's going to be next Wednesday. And then I think the finale is on... Fuck thinking. Let me look it up. God damn. I think the finale of this is Thursday instead of Wednesday. Yes, the finale is May 15th. The penultimate is May 14th. So it's a 2-part finale. The first part is May 14th, and then the second part is May 15th. So I guess it is a full Final 4. But have the Amazing Race ever done it where in the middle of the finale, someone gets eliminated? I could have swore that was a thing. Like, sure, there's 4 people who made it, but in the middle, by the first episode, someone could be all the way eliminated, and it's just 3 teams competing for the rest of it. I don't know. But they're saying it's a 2-part. One on the 14th, one on the 15th. So the finale is next Thursday, actually. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. So I guess this kind of is the Final 4. Bitch, I don't know. But the Council of Europe is where they have to go. Council of Europe is an international organization with the goal of upholding human rights, democracy, and the rule of law in Europe. Wow. What the fuck does that mean? Is it like, what's that thing that everybody is in? And it's like us and Europe and like Russia. What are we in? God, and Canada. Isn't there a group of countries in some type of club so that we all can like exchange goods or something like that? Is that what the Council of Europe is? Or is that different? United Nations. Yeah, the United Nations. Is that similar to the Council of Europe? Like, what's the point of the United Nations? Because, like, if the United, what's the what? Let me Google it. Y'all, I'm not good at his. I'm sorry. The United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945 after the Second World War by 51 countries committing to maintaining international peace and security. But the Council of Europe is basically a smaller version of that because it's an international organization with the goal of upholding human rights and democracy. So I'm assuming the Council of Europe is the European version of the United Nations in a way, like it's a smaller scale version. And yeah, because the goal is like we're all need to be good people and, you know, social and political. Bitch, I don't know. Anyways, they have to name the 4 countries that they've been to that are in the Council of Europe. The answer is Bulgaria, Italy, France, and Germany. That shit was easy. I don't know why anybody was struggling. They wasn't really struggling, right? So yeah. There's that. T. Fran says the UN has multiple continents. The Council of Europe is just for Europe. So yeah, like a smaller scale. Like we could have a North American council, and that would be Canada, America, and Mexico, essentially. And then the UN is extending to everybody around. But either way, it's a way for them to regulate, you know, human rights and shit. Period. So yes, they go here real quick. Name the 4 shits. Brett and Mark are lost. One thing about self-driving, it's gonna get a gay girl. It's gonna get a gay girl because not a gay girl, but like it's gonna get a gay girl because Carson and Jack was struggling on the self-driving. Brett and Mark lost. It looked like it was down the street. It's like, how are you? Not even look like. They found out they were 4 minutes away from it or something like that. They lost. I know me and Lee would have been lost. So it's real bad. It's real bad. I need a hot dog real bad. It's real bad with this Henny. So yeah, they're lost. And that really sets them back for the rest of the motherfucking leg. No shade. And it wasn't even stick shift. T. France said it wasn't even stick shift. It was a regular car. It was a regular car. You just can't navigate. Unfortunately. But hey, we're here. So then we get to the roadblock. The roadblock is a head-to-head, which means you have to go against another team to complete this roadblock. And then if you lose against the other team, you have to stay and wait to go against the other team. And if you lose again, you have to stay. And if you're last one there, you can't leave until 10 minutes have passed. So it is not ideal to lose this motherfucking roadblock, right? So the roadblock is jousting on water. Not on water. They're on these boats in the water and they got to joust each other. That shit was easy. Personally, I'm pushing a nigga off. Personally. It never gave Jonathan and Josiah where I didn't actually win the pole. And Carson, I'm getting the motherfucking pole off. I'm getting you off the motherfucking the boat, bitch. You're not pushing me off. The fuck? But yes. We start off as Han versus Carson first because they were the first 2 people there. Han ate Carson the fuck up. Mind you, Carson went in. He was like, you know, I do this jousting shit, y'all. You know, I'm a nerdy guy. I be doing the jousting. I bet these bitches don't even know what jousting is. Bitch, I'm finna come up here and I'm finna eat it up. He got knocked down by Han, girl. Child, Han murdered that shit, as she should. Period. So Carson has to stay and he goes against Jonathan next. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, Big Jonathan. You know, I'm thinking, okay, Big Jonathan. Mind y'all, I had seen the clips of some of the commentary he had throughout the episode. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, of course you ate up all the shit you needed to do. Of course you ate up all the shit you needed to do. Of course. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, Big Jonathan got Carson ass. Carson, skinny, scrawny ass, no shade. Knocked Jonathan big ass off that motherfucking boat. Huh. I feel like Anna should have been up there like, ugh, my partner just can't joust today. I don't know what's going on. So now we're going to be behind for the rest of the leg and we're going to lose the game and we might as well just quit here because we actually just lost the race because he couldn't joust Karsten. And that kind of shows me because you see how many steps you have to get to the conclusion that we're going to lose the race because of this. It's kind of insane to go all the way there. So that's how I know it's like he got to just be stressed or something because it doesn't actually make any sense for real for us to get all the way there. How did we get all the way over there? How are you all the way over there? We are jousting, and you talking about losing the whole race. Slow down, Savannah. Slow down. But he loses to Carson, and then he goes against Josiah, and then he beats Josiah. So now it's just Josiah, and Josiah has to wait for Mark to get there, and then Josiah and Mark go against each other, and Josiah beats Mark. It's really like a learning curve because it seemed like everyone who had a chance to go first, they were able to beat the other person because it's like they got their balance, they understood it. Very easy, very simple. I think another issue with the head-to-head is that this head-to-head was like basic. Like a easy learning curve, I feel like benefited every other person. So really, it was just the order they arrived. Damn near. It actually was the order they arrived. It was not any other type of switch up. And it would have been more interesting if the order switched up from this, but I think the roadblock was just a little too simple and learning curve based. They should have had a different roadblock for this to be it, right? And that's just how I feel, but we move. So after this, we head to La Cloche à Fromage, which is like a cheese place, a cheese factory, but not a cheesecake factory, but just a cheese factory where they have a hella cheeses. Because I guess France is known for its cheeses. Is France Italy? Is France Italy? No, Italy is below France. Is France a country? France is a country. Hold on, wait, y'all. I know this. France is a country, and Italy is a country. They both like cheese. Because my thing was, wait, I thought Italy was the cheese country. But France also likes cheese. Like everybody likes cheese in Europe for real. Like it's just given cheese. Because even Germany is probably cheese, right? And then somebody else was yogurt, Bulgaria. So yes, is Bulgaria in Europe? It is. Because it's in the United of Council, the Council of, not the United Nations. Think it's in the Council of Europe. So it is in Europe. Boom. Okay, I ate that up. It's nothing. Y'all didn't teach me shit. I ate that up. This is my thing. Give me a multiple choice test. I got you. Just don't give me free response. Free response. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Period. Somebody said, can we post maps in the chat? Please. Please don't do this to me. It's hard. Who walk around staring at a map? Like, I don't even know the states, Henny. I don't even know what. Now, I know every state in alphabetical order, but I don't know where they're at on the map. And that might be more important, right? So anyways, you have 9 different types of cheeses. You have to identify the cheese. I think me and Lee would have ate this the fuck up. I know me. I can identify a taste, Henny. I taste a lot of things in my day, bitch. I see a lot of different things. They had different textures. And also, I worked at, a grocery store. And at a grocery store, we had a deli. So like Munster cheese, I already knew what Munster cheese looked like. It has like an orangey layer. And then below that, it's like a less orangey layer. I already knew that, bitch. So the Munster cheese would have been easy. And that was the first one. Jonathan was fucking up on the Munster. Girl, let's get there. So everyone ends up here at the same time, right? Everyone is doing it at the same time. They're all there, right? And at first we see Alyssa and Josiah. They're having this conversation, and Alyssa's getting a little concerned. She's like, "Should we just use the express pass?" Josiah's like, "I don't know. Wait, we should like kind of wait and see and do what we need to do." And Alyssa was like, "Well, you sure you don't? We shouldn't use it." He was like, "Well, shit, I think we should try it one more time." And she was like, "Okay, let's try it one more time." And then they were trying it, and they were struggling. This is the problem with Alyssa and Josiah. They needed to either completely decide to stay or completely decide to use it. Being in the middle ground, they were not focused on the challenge the way they needed to focus on the challenge. I don't think they would have done as bad at this challenge as they were doing if they were fully focused on the challenge. But whole time in the back of their mind, they're like, should we use the express? Should we use it? Da, 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 da. Just use it. Because isn't this their last round to use it anyways? Just use it. Like, just use it. And then by the time they decided to use it, everybody was gone. So part of me was like, you should have just saved it for the detour and then used it for the detour. So I don't know. I felt like either it worked out for them perfectly fine, I guess, but they either should have immediately used it or they should have just used it at the detour. I don't understand. But then they were thinking about using it for so much that it threw them off and they were going to be in last. But it's like, you're in last and then you use it at the detour. It's like, shit, now you're in first. Bitch, I just feel like by the time they used it, they could have spent all that time actually paying attention to the challenge. Like, what? It was crazy. I just felt like that's something that, like, if it was me and Lee, we would need to agree. And I think we would agree. If we're going to use it, we're using it as soon as we get there. If we take any amount of time, bitch, it's too late. We can't use it. We need to focus on the challenge and we'll use it at the detour. Or even, they probably even should have, like, I just don't know. They should have just been more quick-witted with it. It still worked, like I said, you know, but that express pass is gone. And if you ask me, it was wasted. They still got second place though. So that's cunty. That's extremely cunty. They got to the mat and they was like, home. They were crying. Oh my God, it was bad. And Alyssa was like, what did Alyssa say? She was like, how are we here? And he was like, because you're that girl. Because you ate that shit up. That's how we're here. He was hyping his lady up, Henny. Now, somebody might need to take lessons. I don't know who. I'm not going to name any names. But when they found out they stayed, Josiah looked straight at Alyssa and said, because you ate that shit up. And because you helped us get here. And because you did that shit. That's why we still in the game. You did that shit. You ate that shit up. And we use that express pass. It's nothing. Yeah, that's a man. That's a man. That's a man right there. Alyssa, do you know how to fight? Right. But I ain't gonna fight you, girl, but do you share? Right. No, I don't want your man for real. But nah, I don't. But does he have a brother? I don't know. Do he got a gay brother? You know, I'm in my mid-20s. Come on. Hit me up. I don't know. He could have a cousin. Something similar. But anyway. Alyssa know how to choose them, honey. Despite Alyssa and Josiah. Another thing that's going on in this challenge is, you know, Jonathan and Anna are there. Right? And they're trying to memorize their cheeses. Anna's memorizing 5. Jonathan's memorizing 4. I don't know what it is. They're each memorizing a certain amount, right? So I don't know if I'm going crazy or if I miswatched or if I was misedited. But according to what I saw, Jonathan had the first cheese. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't. If I'm wrong, wonderful. You know, it doesn't really change any of the rest of the things I'm going to say. But the first cheese was getting marked wrong multiple times. Maybe that was Anna's cheese. I thought it was Jonathan's cheese, right? So they were getting it wrong a few times. By the time they got it, of course, there were some cheeses near the end that they were getting messed up on. And it was Anna's cheeses, right? Girl. I'm thinking he had the first cheese, friend. Munster. I'm like, you literally had Munster and y'all missed the first cheese 4 or 5 times. Then we were finally getting your cheeses that you were missing. And then we were getting the Anna's cheese and she was missing some of hers. And it's like, to me, it looks like everybody's missing some cheese, personally. But here go Jonathan. Oh, I mean, that was on you. You didn't have your cheeses right. You didn't have your shit right. Shit. Now we fucking, you didn't have your stuff right. I mean, you didn't have it right. You just didn't have it right. You didn't have your stuff right. And Anna was like, okay, girl. And was like, act the fool, act the fool. Okay, girl, let's move forward. Anna's trying to move forward in the race because we're racing. You stuck in the past. That cheese is in the past. The cheese was literally behind them on the board. And they're walking away from the cheese, and he's still talking about the cheese back there. We need to go up there. Do you want to win or do you want to lose? Do you want to be in the front or do you want to be in the back? He's thinking in the past. We're in the future. We're in the present. Come on. I need you to keep up, King. But yes, he worried about the cheese. Oh, that was on you. Truly, this is the true issue, right? And I'm about to gag everybody. He's saying she was messing it up. I saw him messing it up. In reality, who gives a fuck? It literally does not matter who messed it up because we're on a team. Even if I didn't mess up and you did, we're both losing. Even if I did mess up, we're both losing. You telling me I messed up isn't going to change it. Matter of fact, there's somebody who has a designated job to tell, somebody is getting paid to tell me I messed up when they say we're wrong. So you telling me after they told me actually does nothing. Matter of fact, and you're not getting paid to do it. You're telling me I messed up for free. At least get a job. At least get some money out of it. Like, I cannot. Hush, boy. That shit was crazy. Telling me I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. You know what's crazy? Anna don't even care for real. He's like saying, oh, you fucked that up. She's like, I don't give a damn. Like, because who cares? They don't got shit to do with us winning this race anymore. It was in the past. The only benefit of him telling her that she did something wrong or she messed up is if it was going to help her get it right. He wasn't even trying to help her. That's what kills me about Jonathan. He don't even be trying to help her get it right. He'll just acknowledge that she messed up. If you have all of your cheeses and she's messing up on the cheese, maybe go help her on the cheese? No? Like, instead of him trying to find a solution, he's just yelling out problems. No world peace. Hunger on the streets. People are homeless. What is yelling it out going to do? I know there's problems in the world. Gun violence. That's what you sound like, Jonathan. That's literally what you say. You're just naming problems. Now what? Now what? People hate the gays. Lack of education. Come on now, King. I go do something about it. God damn. But yes, that shit was crazy to me. Oh my God, that was so crazy. And the girls is dragging Jonathan. I don't want to keep dragging Jonathan because he's getting dragged enough. True. And that's just the honest truth. He's getting dragged enough. You know, shout out to that man and that woman. Shout out to Jonathan and Anna for sure. Because, you know, Anna got to deal with it. And y'all think dragging him is eating. But let me tell you the reality. The truth is she's at home with him in the house. And every time he see y'all dragging him, he's telling her about it. So now, not only was she tortured on the race, now she's getting tortured because y'all dragging her man, and now he's torturing him about getting dragged. He probably come to her with every clip of him getting dragged. Look, they're saying this about me. Look what they're saying about me now. She trying to eat her food. He coming up to her. Look what they're saying. Look what they're saying. They said, oh my God. Now she's even more. Y'all torture her more. Stop dragging that man. Let her let it calm down. let it calm down. Cause she probably suffering more because he getting dragged and now he got to complain about being dragged. God damn. But I did read an article. I don't know if this was, girl, some articles be fake. You know, it's AI going around. Some people be lying. I don't know if this is true or not true. Take it with a grain of salt. But I heard from the grapevine that Jonathan investigated some of what he was doing on the race. And he found out that he was diagnosed with some type of neurodivergence, and that potentially that was, of course, a symptom of the things that he was doing on the race. Let me try to Google it, honestly, real quick, because I did hear that. And I saw in Anna's bio, she also have something mentioning neurodivergence with Jonathan. So I definitely think there was something that occurred with that for sure. What does this say? Is this an accurate article? I just don't trust articles. But it says Jonathan disclosed, he posted a video about his newly diagnosed autism. Yes, Jonathan disclosed that he had just received a diagnosis of autistic spectrum disorder after seeking expert assistance. He clarified the emotional toll of completing under pressure by saying, "We're on a race. We don't really have time to like do a whole therapy session here." He added, "This affected us throughout the race," alluding to the ways in which his neurodivergence contributed to the difficulties they encounter as a group. Boom. Right. Now, I'm neurodivergent. I have ADHD. I probably have other things because a lot of the times, if you have one neurodivergent disorder, you have a lot, right? So I have ADHD. Is it a different experience for a lot of certain things? Yes. If you're watching Survivor, you know that Eva is diagnosed with autism, and we see when she's under intense stress, there's different ways that she might respond to the stress than someone who is neurotypical. So is it very likely that Jonathan responds to stress in a more extreme way than someone who's neurotypical? 100%. If he gets diagnosed with autism, it makes 100% that he responds differently than neurotypical people. Now, does that make it okay? No. You know, if Eva was on the island and she started getting frustrated and she started telling everybody on her tribe that, oh, it's all y'all fighting and y'all are doing this, you know, in a way it is degrading. In a way it is blaming someone for all of the things. So it definitely doesn't make it okay for him to damn near degrade Anna about every single situation they're in. But can it help him not do that in the future? Probably. What I noticed when I was diagnosed with ADHD, it wasn't until I was an adult. So before I was diagnosed, there were a lot of things that I did that I'm doing without understanding that it's even different or that it's wrong or that I am being this type of negative way towards someone who I'm friends with, who I'm close with, who I love. So when I was diagnosed, me being diagnosed helped me change the way I was acting because how I was acting was negative. How Jonathan acts is wrong, is negative, is bad. So him being diagnosed might help him grow from that, but it doesn't necessarily make the fact that he did it good or bad or worse or better. He still did what he did. He still is talking crazy to Anna, regardless of if he has autism or not. It's not a excuse for the way he's acting, but it's good that he's diagnosed because now in the future, you cannot act that way anymore. Because just because you have autism doesn't mean you're excused to act like that. You still acting a fool, girl. You know, you need to control your emotions in a different way than someone who doesn't have autism would control it. So, yeah, period. So it's still no excuse. He's still acting a fool. I will still continue to drag. So yeah, he was acting crazy. he was acting crazy. He was saying a lot of crazy things for sure. And that was just a whole situation. I hated that. Then we get to the Cathedral of Notre Dame de Strasbourg, and they got to climb this motherfucking cathedral to the top, right? Girl, it never gave climb the stairs. While they're climbing, Jonathan's still calling Anna a terrible partner. You gonna get us eliminated, yada, 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 yada. Boom. We get to the detour. The detour is out to dry or for the birds. Now, y'all know me. I am for the birds sometimes. I am a bird sometimes. You can just, I got to be real. But for this detour, we would have did that laundry. Because as a bird, I know how to cook and clean. I love cleaning. I love to clean. When I was younger, I thought it might be like an obsessive type of condition. Like OCD could be something that I also might have because I used to always constantly clean and I would use hand sanitizer all the time and all this other stuff. I know that's not exactly what OCD means, but at the time it felt like very obsessive, right? And so I love to clean. I would have ran to that laundry. Please let me clean that laundry. Like that's satisfying, bitch. So me and Lee would have definitely cleaned that laundry. I know that's right. Period. And then what's the other one? That other shit. I think Mary says you always pick the straightforward detour of the attention to detail. I think that would work better for me and Lee as a group. I think for roadblocks, like attention to detail roadblocks, I would definitely do because I like attention to detail things. Like I play like Sudoku. I play like chess. I play like mind focusing games. And I think me and Lee would be really good at attention to detail. I think we're both really good at it. But when it comes to what are these called? The detours, I think it just always feels more comforting to do the straightforward ones, or the ones that we know what the goal needs to be. Because like you'll see when they went to the bird nest one, they kind of didn't know how to fix the problem. And that can cause stress, that can make them struggle. With the cleaning the laundry thing, if there is a no when you get a check, for a fact it's because you didn't clean the shit. It's not a guessing game of why you didn't complete it. So for me, I'm like, I would have did the laundry. No shade. But yeah. But Brett and Mark picked the nest, and Alyssa and Josiah picked the nest. Mary said, I get why Brett and Mark picked the bird's nest because they wanted to win on time. But they forgot to pay attention. I agree. I thought they were going to catch up here. I literally was like, they're finna catch up and they're finna eat this shit up. But they just weren't really fully paying attention at all of the times. But I'm trying to go back to the coral detour. Didn't Brett and Mark do that as well? And weren't they like missing a detail on that as well? I can't remember how they did on that, but that's a very similar detour to this. And I'm like, is that one you can catch up on? I don't know. If you're trying to catch up, you got to catch up. And they just didn't do what they needed to do for sure. Yeah. But this was very simple detours. I always like when the detours and roadblocks get more difficult throughout the season. I remember on season 34 with Molly and Emily and Derek X and Claire, there was like a fucking motorcycle framing detour where you had to like create a plaster of the motorcycle wrap and wrap it around without any bumps. And that was like 3 fucking hours. Like, what happened to shit like that? These niggas washing clothes and building nests. This shit is easy. Like, what? But yes, and then at the washing clothes. Now I will say I thought Jonathan and Anna was finna lose because they got to the clothes thing last. Like, I think they were the last at a detour, period. But while they were driving to the detour, this is why they're last. They're lost. And there's a scene of Anna getting the directions, and Jonathan's in the background not helping. I don't know why he doesn't help. That shit blows me. And he's like, oh, we need to hurry up. We need to hurry up with these directions. So, she gets them done. It was a lot of directions. And as they're driving, she's holding the directions and she's driving. What are you doing in the back? Commentating? He loved to commentate. Get these motherfucking directions. And I need Anna to be a little bit more, put her foot down, because she should have never been holding the directions and driving. She should have said, you're going to read these directions out and I'm going to drive. Period. Because I feel like in moments where they do have this like situation of disagreement, like honestly, if she just put it on the floor with Jonathan, he might shut the fuck up. We won't know because he's never did it before. We will not know because she's never really like put it on the floor like that with him. And I think maybe she's like trying to avoid an argument, and maybe it could be an argument. But a lot of the time it's like before he even starts bitching, I know you're particular, so you can go ahead and do the directions or do these, or you drive something. Like, we needed somebody, one of them definitely needed to be more of a put your foot down, because he started allowing Anna to pick the detours. I've noticed that, and it's been working, mind you. But what Anna hasn't like put her foot down on this. Jonathan is allowing Anna to do this. And I think it needs to be more so of Anna needs to put that man in his place sometimes, because he be acting a fool. Because he's sitting there commentating in the backseat driving when he could be up front driving. And then eventually he's like, well, we need to switch because da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, if switching ain't going to do nothing because you're not helping with the directions anyways. And she's clocking his tea. You're not helping with the directions and you're not driving. So us switching isn't going to do shit because I'm doing everything. All I'm going to do is be doing everything from the back seat now. Goddamn. So that was crazy. But they got there last, and I was like, damn, they finna lose. But once again, Anna eats up a detour. She eats that shit up. Like, they truly are good at these challenges. They are a team. Of the teams here, Jonathan and Anna are the best at the challenges. 100%. There have been so many times that they've gotten to the challenge last. They were behind and they didn't even know. And they literally caught up by completing a challenge faster than other teams. It has happened so many times throughout the season. They are beasts, specifically Anna. Anna be eating that shit up. So it's like they're genuinely great at these challenges. If they could just, not even they, if Jonathan could just focus or have a little bit more positivity, I think he might get a little bit down on himself a lot. And I think he takes that out on everybody else. And that's not great all the time. And I feel like they could focus a lot more on a lot of other things if their energy was both on the race. Because y'all have to remember, they made it to Final Four with Jonathan's energy being on complaining, bitch, 20% of the time. If he was 100% focused on winning and being positive, and Anna continues to do what she's doing, they'd probably be winning this season easily. Like, it would probably be no question that they're winning this season. They have the potential to be winners for sure. It's just their focus is off and their chemistry very, very off for sure. Oh, and that's another thing. When it comes to these contestants, I wasn't surprised that Brett and Mark went home this round, because I said it last round, they don't have great, amazing race chemistry. Like, I feel like their amazing race chemistry isn't phenomenal. The only teams that have great, amazing race chemistry is Alyssa and Josiah and Carson and Jack. Carson and Jack for sure. They have great, like, communication. They're very good at lifting each other up. They're very good at figuring things out together. Like, their chemistry is very good, which is why I do see Carson and Jack winning. Jonathan and Anna could still win. Mary says, I still think they're going to win. I would love for them to win. I think it would be a gag. Personally, I definitely think it would be a gag. And Alyssa and Josiah, I think they have great chemistry as well within the race. And I think that could help them. I think that's why they're still here. Like, they definitely have like a chemistry to them that I feel like is benefiting them for sure. So that's why I'm like, at the end of the day, I'd put my money on Carson and Jack, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jonathan and Anna or even Han and Holden won, because they are good at a lot of the things that it causes. And none of these teams are phenomenal. None of these teams are Caesar and the two winners from last season, you know, where they were dominating and dominating. None of these teams are that. So it could be up for grabs for anyone, truly. But yeah, here we are. We have our Final Four. We're moving into the finale. Literally, these are the 4 teams. This is what we're rocking with. I don't know who's going to do who or what's going to do what, but I'm excited. My money is definitely on Carson and Jack, though, y'all. Carson and Jack, I think, are winning. I think Jonathan and Anna could get second for sure. I think Alyssa and Josiah is getting third, and I think Han and Holden is getting fourth. But I thought Han and Holden were going home. So the fact that they're still here, period, is already kind of iconic. No shade. But we'll see, y'all. I know that's right. Anyways, get into the other shit. We got other shit going on in TRK. Tomorrow, we will be doing our Drag Race premiere recap. 2 episodes of Drag Race dropped. Make sure you join us, even if you don't watch the episodes. Also, get into our reality rewind, because Love Island is very, very tea, y'all. The tea is hot over there at Love Island on Mondays and Wednesdays. Of course, Survivor 48 is still going on, unfortunately. And Survivor Rewind is still going on Thursdays, which is actually a pretty good rewind. Coming very soon is BB Rewind, so get into that. And if you want to watch Love Island with us, as you should, because it's actually motherfucking tea, make sure you watch episodes 16, 18, and 19 by Monday, episodes 20, 21, 22, and 24 by Wednesday or whatever. Get into Reality Rewind. If you aren't the biggest fan of Love Island, or if you are, make sure you submit your votes for the next Reality Rewind series. There is a link in the description. We have gotten so many different votes. So if you make sure you put in your vote, because if you put in your vote, one of your votes might be in the top 10 and might be in contention for our next Reality Rewind series. So even if you're not a big fan of Love Island or never seen it, something you are a big fan of and you have seen can be on the next motherfucking season. So make sure you send in your votes. We are doing any motherfucking reality show that has ever aired. Make sure it's not Big Brother or Survivor, because we have designated rewinds for that. Make sure it's a past Reality Rewind show. And if you do vote, make sure you send in your votes using the title of the show and the season you want us to cover, so that way we know where to delegate your vote or whatever. Also get into the Scripted Kingdom, honey. I know y'all been asking for this April rewind. I mean, this April wrap up. Girl, it's recorded. It needs to get out. Like, it's getting crazy. I need to put it out like tonight. And I said that last time. It'll definitely be out by this weekend. It'll definitely be out by this weekend. Get into my Thunderbolts review in the meantime. And I'm going to be reviewing Friendship, which is a movie that's coming out this week very soon. So definitely get into all of that. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom, honey. We're out. Bye.